Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Hazel Adams. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. And you probably know that while I have been posting some segments from that podcast interview that I did with Danny Miranda, I haven't really posted any new videos for you in the last few weeks. Sorry about that. I've been very busy with my private transformational healing readings and also with those live spirit talks and monthly meditations that I do with my Patreon group. And just honestly, I haven't had the time or the energetic space to focus on recording YouTubes here for a few weeks. So, but I'm back and I'm very excited about this one. One of my Patreon members wrote to me just a couple of days ago and asked if in this Sunday's Spirit Talk call, we could talk about how to actually live in the new earth and what we can do to help. And we will talk about that and some other things in this Sunday Spirit Talk. But I wanted to give an overview answer for everyone, whether you're a member of the Patreon community or not, because I think it's really important. I think it's what a lot of people are thinking and feeling right now. And so I can answer this in really 4 rather clear, easy to talk about steps. Things that you can be doing to live in the new earth and be helping. First, I want to remind all of us that we are always creating our own reality. We are all, each of us, creating and projecting and interpreting what appears to be the outside world and all of the other people and all of the events. All of those things are our creation and our projection. And that's why each of us has our own experience and our own timeline. And of course, we're always experiencing even events that are generally agreed upon in the collective. We all experience them differently and interpret them differently through our own individual lenses. But importantly, don't forget, it's not just that there's a set of circumstances or events going on that's just true and it's just that you're interpreting it different. No, you are vibrating. I am vibrating with the version of events that we vibrate. Remember that in the quantum vacuum field of probability or possibility, you can use either word. All probable versions of a person or a country or an event exist. They exist simultaneously in an infinite present, an infinite now. You're going to experience the version of the event according to what you vibrate with. And nothing and no one that seems to be out there is separate from you. You're always getting your version as you create it and vibrate with it. So there's no such thing as a separate out there. There's no such thing as someone out there to fix. When we shift into living in the new earth, in the new version of human consciousness and human reality on earth, what we're doing is shifting ourselves. We are shifting what we vibrate with. We're shifting the version of the earth and the human species that we vibrate with. So we're not doing things out there to make things change. We are changing here. So what are the 4 clear, easy steps we can take to be in the new earth? First, to the best of your ability, always be focusing your attention and your time on the things that feel joyful, creative, rewarding, satisfying, engaging, engrossing, as Seth wrote in one of the Seth books. Anytime we are doing something that just feels engaging and enjoyable, it doesn't matter whether it's a big thing or a little thing, or no matter how silly it seems, when you're just focused in that childlike, not childish, childlike, unburdened state, you're not worried about, are you good or bad, or are you doing right or wrong, or how do you compare to others, or how are you comparing to how you expected yourself to be doing? You know, think of when a child is playing, or when you're engaged in something that you love. Maybe you're knitting, or maybe you're doing some artwork, or maybe you're doing a craft, or maybe you're playing with your dog or cat. You're not thinking about any of those burdensome, judgy things. You're just enjoying and focused in the moment. You're not observing and judging yourself. doing what you're doing. You're in it and you're all in it. And it's rewarding and it's satisfying and you feel good. It could be sitting on the couch watching some of those funny animal videos, where animals are so cute and doing these funny things. And you find yourself just sitting there, just laughing, and nothing feels bad or burdensome or worrisome. None of that's even there. You're just in the moment, enjoying and laughing. Anytime we're in that state versus the burdened, judgy, competitive, comparing, how am I doing? That is the higher vibration. That is the state of the higher vibration. That is our soul's state when we're not in this paradigm of negativity and judgment that the human race has been in for millennia, according to the history that most of us vibrate with. And I talked about that in terms of the light versus the darkness, because people talk about the light versus the dark. I did a video about that a couple of months ago. I'll go back and try to find that and post a link in the description below. But what I said is light versus darkness. Light is what there is. And where light is being blocked by those negative, burdensome expectations and beliefs, there's shadow. That's how I talked about it. And I'm still going to talk about it that way. There is light. Light is the reality. The shadow isn't the reality. The shadow is the blocked light. But what is the reality is the light. And so we can even be living in the light and see that someone is in the shadow, but that they don't need to be, but for now they think they need to be. And I talked about that in that video. But the point is that you can be in the light or you can be in the shadow. Whenever we have those moments of just engaged, engrossed enjoyment and satisfaction and reward and lightness, where we're not watching and judging ourselves, that's being out in the light versus in the shadow area. What's the second thing you can do? Focus your attention in synchronistic living, a synchronistic paradigm. What do I mean by that? Bashar, most of you probably know who that is. He's an ET channeled entity from the Sasani or the Yael, that channeled by Daryl Anka. He's been doing that for over 30 years now. Very highly evolved. Bashar says that in their civilization, which is in and out of physical, they're not fully physical anymore, but they still come in and out of physical. He said that in their civilization, everything is synchronistic versus the cause and effect. I've got to do this to make this happen and worry about if the right thing happens, all of those things. That doesn't even exist there. Everything is synchronistic. So let me clarify. Living in a synchronistic paradigm and knowing that you do, and that's an important little point. I'll come back to that here in a couple of minutes. You know that being and doing you, exactly what is your soul's truth, your heart's joy, and everybody else also being in their soul's truth and their heart's joy, that everything everybody does matches exactly synchronistically with the reality around them. Everything that you need to have or need to do exactly matches what others around you need to have from you, need to see from you. And if there's something you need to have, they have it to give you. And it's their truth to give what they have to give. And it's your truth to give what you have to give. And everybody exactly matches. So everyone is in their goodness. Everyone knows they're in their goodness. And all your activities start to be planned not on, well, how am I going to do this, and how am I going to beat the system here, and how am I going to survive this and come out of this okay? It starts being exactly what I choose to do, and what feels right to me right now to do is going to be the exact perfect thing for my highest, best life and in world and environment. And everybody I come in contact with, and every situation I come in contact with, will be exactly what I need to fulfill either what I do need or what I need to become aware of. It's living and planning from this place of absolute trust, not naive, faithful trust, but true knowledge that everything you're doing is exactly synchronistically perfect with what you are experiencing and receiving, and that everything is working that way perfectly. Let's say you have a real sort of mundane example just in everyday is, okay, you have a situation where you have a yard that's really attractive to birds. You have bird bath, you have bird feeders. You get great joy out of all the different birds that visit your yard and migrate through. It's just wonderful. And all of a sudden, someone moves into the neighborhood that has 4 cats that they let run around. And now cats are coming through your yard, driving off the birds. There are no birds. Or worse, they're eating all the birds, sort of harshing your mellow, sort of taking away your enjoyment. In that situation, there are quite a few ways synchronistically that could go, but the people could move away. It could be that you work out a way to sort of shoo the cats off and make them know that they're not really welcome in your yard, and that for the most part, you kind of really don't have a big problem with it. Maybe it's better for the cats not to be in the yard because guess what? Since there's a lot of birds in the yard, that's where the eagles and the owls hunt. And there can be hawks and eagles coming through grabbing the birds. And as I said, maybe the neighbors, it's better for them to not have their cats just running out and about because it's too easy for them to get taken by a bird of prey. So what I'm saying is everybody synchronistically gets what they need out of the situation, what they would really like to see and experience, and what's best for them. And somehow it all works together perfectly like a dance. That is synchronistic living. And looping back to what I said a couple of minutes ago, living in a synchronistic paradigm and knowing it, guess what, guys? We are already and have been living in a synchronistic paradigm. We just haven't been consciously aware of it. And so we haven't been enjoying it and using it. We haven't been creating our reality and following our days and following our joy and creativity based upon synchronicity because we didn't know we could. But things are always, always synchronous like that. Whether we know it or not, we are always getting what's an exact vibrational match to where we are. If you're a warrior and you're always in a fight with other people and always looking for someone to be doing something to you, you're always going to have some neighbors that are awful to be around. And you're always going to have workmen come into your home and rip you off for something that was laying there. Or you're always going to have conflicts come up because that's what you're vibrating in. My life is full of conflict and I have to protect myself from other people trying to do things to me. I was given such a clear on-the-ground example of this years ago. I temporarily worked in one of those big box stores as a cashier, and actually that was a lot of fun, you guys. But anyway, I went to work there, and I noticed how consistently a certain cashier, she was a very nice young lady, she'd been a school teacher, but she consistently got these really jerky people. Men more than women, but jerks would come through her line and just be really rude and sort of abusive and really try to push her around. Almost as if she had an energetic billboard just attracting those people, which she did. We all do. I, on the other hand, hardly attracted any, but on the few occasions I did, there was always a very synchronistic gift there. In 1 or 2 instances in which someone really was just awful and horrible and rude to me, I very quickly could see how I had something still in myself that I needed to learn about what I did or didn't have to accept from people. So I'm just saying, whatever you're vibrating with, you are going to exactly attract someone that for whatever reason exactly matches what you're vibrating with. Like that little gal who kept attracting all the jerks. Maybe she needed to learn that, hey, I have a choice here and I don't have to take this and I don't deserve it. We're always receiving and experiencing out there exactly what we vibrate with. Even if it's something we don't like and think we're fighting against, we're obviously accepting its existence in our world and that we need to fight it. I mean, we could go on that subject. Just know that we're already in synchronicity. Knowing that and shifting up into the light-based paradigm, you start to just be able to consciously live from synchronicity, choose from synchronicity, create from synchronicity. I don't know if you all can hear that there's a dog barking outside. I hope it's not getting in the way of this recording, but there's not much I can do about it. So what's the third thing we can do to change the version of the world and the human consciousness and species that we are vibrating with? Because again, remember, all versions already exist in the quantum field. It's just a matter of shifting to vibrate with the one we want to vibrate with, the highest version. So what's the third thing we can do to shift the version of reality that we're vibrating with as humans here on Earth. This is such a small one and it's such a big one. Make sure that you can accept living in a world where others are right there with you, that you're ready to inhabit a reality in which, instead of seeing others doing things that really tick you off or really shock and offend you in the world, and seeing things that you want to get rid of, like the corruption and the war and the hatred, all of those things. What if none of that's there anymore to see? What if we are all operating as one loving, supportive family where we all love and want the best for ourselves and for everyone else on the planet, so that it's no longer this competitive conflict environment, but a loving, supportive, let's create together environment, that everyone is there, where we no longer need to feel threatened that someone's going to try to dominate or take control of our lives or our country, or vice versa, where that's not even the reality anymore. So are you ready, not just to wish for it, want for it, think, oh, well, off in the future, but are you ready to inhabit, be in a reality in which everyone has already shifted and they're already there with you? Now there's no one to guide, no one to correct, no one to fix. We're all vibrating in that same upper octave of love and cooperation and support for each other and joyful creativity and creating our reality together, creating a heaven on earth, each of us individually and collectively. Are you ready to live where there's no longer all of that burden and conflict that we've been so used to? And before I go to the fourth thing that we can do to be living in the new earth, and by the way, there's a little fifth tip that needs to come in at the end as well that I'm aware of right now. I do want to ask you, if this video is helpful to you, please click like and subscribe. It makes the video and my channel more visible to others, and it gives me encouragement to make more videos like this for you. So what is the fourth thing we can do? This sort of tags off the rest of them, and it's a little more focused, doesn't require meditation per se, but get the feeling, sit quietly and get the actual feeling of you living in a world where everyone on the planet around you has shifted up into the higher octave, into the higher vibration, that you're living in a world in which everyone is loving and supportive of themselves and of each other, in which everyone works together, and I don't even like that word work, but creates together in cooperation with intention for everyone to have their highest, best life and have what they need and be the highest, truest version of themselves that they can be, where everyone is aware of the synchronicity and chooses to focus in the synchronicity paradigm, to focus on that as being the reality versus the old linear cause-effect competition, comparison, conflict paradigm, where everyone is aware and choosing the cooperative, supportive, synchronistic paradigm and helping each other. Get the feeling of that and practice getting the feeling of that every chance you get, maybe during your morning meditation, because the more you get the feeling of it, the more, first of all, anything within yourself that's not ready to have that yet is going to burble up and show itself to you. You're going to see if you still have a need to fix others, or you still have some kind of attachment, and there's no judgment here. If you still have some kind of attachment to needing that conflict or challenge, like still being sort of tied to that paradigm, that stuff's going to come up as you get the feeling of being in the synchronistic, loving, supportive, positive, cooperative paradigm of human consciousness. And as you do that, as you get the feeling, and any little objections that come up within you that you clear and consciously choose to clear, you will find yourself more and more being able to be there. And the thing is that as you get the feeling of that, you are literally putting yourself in vibration with that version of reality. You are literally retuning your radio to that station of reality. And there you go. I feel all of you right now watching this going, oh, I get it. This is the conscious co-creator seat. This is where if you've been tuned into the energies you don't want to be tuned to, you become aware and you start making conscious choices of the energies you actually want to tune to. And so getting the feeling is a great way to tune yourself to the version of reality that you want to be experiencing. I have one last tip to share with you. Before I do, we will be talking about this and some other things in this Sunday's live Spirit Talk call. I'll leave a link below if you want more information about that, or if you think you would like to join us. I do have, as a special right now, a month's free membership. So you'd be able to join us this Sunday for free if you like. Also the mid-month meditation in March. And the extra tip I want to share with you that sort of came in right while I was speaking. Within and throughout and underneath all of this, welcome in the energy of I deserve. Your being is good. Your being here in this reality, in this physical earth reality and the human consciousness is good and right. You're here for a reason. You are exactly what you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to be doing, and you are always on your path. And so just welcome in the energy of I am good in my being. I deserve my good. I deserve to accept and be guided to my good. Because again, that is of the higher vibration. When that's a baseline foundational truth for us, isn't that going to change the version of the earth that we vibrate in? So I hope today was helpful to you. Please let me know what you think. If you have any questions, if you have something you'd like me to talk about in another video or in Sunday's Spirit Talk, leave a comment for me. And thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.